You're watching the 33rd season of Football Friday. Live from News Center 11, it's Football Friday with Chris Turner and Jessica Hunt. Football Friday begins now.
Week 12, the final week of the regular season for some, the first round of the playoffs for others. I'm Chris Turner.
And I'm Jessica Hunt. We're starting things off with a bang with the 8-man state championship over in Tuscaloosa.
Two teams who played in a classic matchup here in Meridian, Russell Christian Academy in a rematch with Tabernacle Christian. Earlier this year, Warriors beat the Torches 37-34, hoping not just for a season sweep of Tabernacle, but a second consecutive 8-man state championship over in Alabama. Scoreless early first quarter. That wouldn't last long. Vincent Reynolds going to read this pass perfectly. Going to the house. 43-yard pick six. Extra points no good. RCA, though, up 6-0. The first quarter ends tied at 6 apiece. Russell Christian now leading 13-6 at this point. Caleb Taylor, slick pump fake here. Going to drop a beautiful pass to Taylor Wood. Catches it, scurries into the end zone. The route begins. Warriors up 19-7 at this point. And the piece de resistance. As we go to half, Taylor going to drop a pass over the middle to Jared McMullen. McMullen going to do the rest himself. 50-yard score opens things up even more. That's his second receiving touchdown of the first half. Back-to-back state champions. Russell Christian Academy repeats as the Alabama 8-man champions. 52-14 victory over Tabernacle.
It's awesome. It's awesome. We, as defense coordinator last year, we came out here and did it. We wanted to do it again this year to show it wasn't a fluke last year. I couldn't be prouder of the heart these guys showed. I couldn't be prouder of the leadership these seniors showed out here this year. It's everything. I just can't explain the way I'm feeling right now. I couldn't be more proud of these guys.
Back-to-back titles, back-to-back trips to Tuscaloosa for RCA. And again, one of the best teams in our viewing area, one of the most electric teams in our viewing area. And the titles speak for themselves. Yeah,
and I think going into this game, we all expected it to be very close. Having, you know, the regular season game, they'd won by just 3 points. Even the coach said, hey, it's going to be the toughest game that we face all year. But it was a blowout. They really showed that they are the best team in this area.
And now they go to the national tournament where they got last year and another chance for a national championship.
Yeah, you know, I think that they can do it, don't you?
I think they have a great shot.
Yeah, well, we'll definitely see. Back over here in Mississippi for a Region 5 champion, West Lauderdale in at home. Knights welcome the Van Cleve Bulldogs to the Kingdom. This was a shootout early. 8-7 Bulldogs leading in the first quarter. Handoff to Taylor Turnage. Untouched through the line of scrimmage. Spins away from Christian Kell and simultaneously diving and brought down towards the end zone to put the Knights ahead 14-8. The Bulldogs look to respond. Roy Johnson back to pass. And he hits Cade Thrash downfield up the sidelines. He will not be stopped. A 76-yard touchdown puts Van Cleve ahead, 15-14. But West Lauderdale, well, they're not quite done. Deep in Bulldogs territory, Eli Bryan up the middle, wills his way, the 8 yards for the score. Van Cleve blocks a point after try, but retakes the lead 20-15. And West Lauderdale wins 28-22. They will play Florence next week.
Down in 2A, Philadelphia earning a first-round home game. They're facing off with Walnut tonight at Harpole Field, coming down the stands of the stadium. Walnut's on the move early, but it wouldn't last long. Quarterback keeper here going to end up going the other way. Ball pops out. Going to be recovered. That's the Tornadoes' ball. Kadarius Callaway, a few plays later, he recovered the fumble. Then he's going to score 6 on the other end. Asher Morgan, nice pass, hits him in stride. That's going to open things up. Philadelphia up 7-0. Not long after that, Philadelphia's got the ball again. Morgan's going to find Mississippi State target Dietrich Griffin on the short toss. He's gone. The taillights. Go ahead and show him. Big victory for Philadelphia tonight. That's putting it lightly. 61-0. They're going to play East Webster in the next round.
Up the road in Winston County, Louisville begins its journey back to the North State Championship. Wildcats opening the playoffs at home against Visalia. We pick it up in the second quarter. Deontay Yarbrough takes a snap, then charges his way into the end zone for the first TD of the game. Then after an ensuing kickoff, Visalia fumbling the ball, stays out for a while before Christian Hopkins scoops it up and attempts to run it in. A few plays later, Yarbrough will look to throw. He sees Alvius Haynes deep in the end zone. The 30-yard throw is good for the second touchdown of the game. It took almost the entire first half for a score, but the Wildcats eventually make it happen. Louisville wins 41-0. Will play Clarksdale next week.
Last year's 4A champions begin their title defense up in Macon. Noxubee County Starting the 4A playoffs at home versus New Albany. Picking things up in the second quarter, Tigers up 7-3. Rodney Williams comes up with the interception off the tip. Nice return, going to shed a couple would-be tacklers here. Returns it to the New Albany 22-yard line. Tigers in business on a 3rd and 6. The offense on the field, Jaqueline Smith going to have the carry here. Nice little pitch out for the option. Going to pick up a first down. Knoxville had a 1st and goal on this drive, but on 4th down, quarterback Christopher White with a K fumbles. Tigers can't fall on it, or they will fall on it, but they can't convert. They only go into the half leading 7-3. Knoxville County, strong second half. They're going to play Greenwood after a 28-3 victory. So the defending 4A champs are still alive. Louisville, maybe the 4A favorite, still alive.
I think so.
And West Lauderdale, although a little bit of a struggle, they managed to pull out the win against Van Cleve.
Yeah, so, I mean, Louisville, I think, is the favorite. This is a team that, lost to West Point, which is in a bigger class. And then Knoxville County lost to Louisville by 1 point this year. I think they're both extremely dangerous teams, and we could see them in, North State.
Philadelphia lighting up the scoreboard. I mean, it wasn't even close. It was 53-0 at the half.
Philly has been a quick team all year long, and, way to bounce back from a coaching change earlier in the season. I mean, Philly's a dangerous team, and they come from, one of the best districts in our area. Well, some playoff and non-playoff scores from around East Mississippi.
We got a couple highlights from the Mississippi Gulf Coast, as well as the final goodies of the year from Jessica.
And 2 playoff games in Jasper County coming your way. Before that, the Philadelphia cheerleaders send us a break.
You're watching Football Friday with Chris and Jessica. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Football Friday. Jessica has the series finale for this season's Good Eats from Northeast Lauderdale.
But for now, we're heading down to Bay Springs. Bulldogs opening the playoffs at home.
Bay Springs taking on North Forest. For the Bulldogs, Adrian Cole drops back and fire it deep to Darian Lee. Falls right under it for the touchdown. Bulldogs up 20-7. North Forest with the ball. Ryan Briscoe going to throw it to Eric Robinson. Makes a man miss. Setting up for 1st and goal. Then Briscoe going to sneak it in for the Eagles. They're going to cut the lead to 6. But Bay Springs explodes in the second half. They put up a 60 spot. They're going to face Pelahatchie next week.
Down the road, MAIS 2A quarterfinals. Silva Bay Academy hosting Tri-County Academy. The Rebels with the ball first in the second half. Cade Shepard gets the outside, and Tarek McCoy lays the big hit in a drive that would end in a punt. Saints with the ball. McCoy gets it, and on the handoff, gets around the corner and has enough for 1st down. The Saints defense would stiffen again the next possession, and the game would go to overtime. It's Silva Bay who advances with a 27-24 victory. Will play Centerville Academy.
Down on the coast, Quitman with a tall task of facing defending 4A South champ East Central. First quarter, no score until now. Will Young sweeps to Dylan Grunsteiner. Runs it left, gets the edge. Bye-bye. 65-yard sprint to the house. Grunsteiner gets the Hornets on the board. 7-0 East Central. The Hornets defense showing out as well. Quitman couldn't do a whole lot. Jed Lewis dodges one man but can't miss Avery White, who flies in for the sack. Panthers couldn't get anything going against one of the best teams, not only in 4A but in the state. Hornets knock off the Panthers 56-14.
Back up north, Union back in the postseason as they draw Baldwin tonight. Yellow Jackets up big in the third quarter. Colby Ferguson adds to that lead with a quarterback keeper from 19 yards out. Union now leading 31-7 over the Bearcats. After Baldwin gets a long kick return to set up in Union territory, the Jackets defense steps up. Maddox Ritchie's pass tipped, picked by William Hewlett. Yellow Jackets go on the road and dominate to advance to the next round, where they'll face Calhoun City. And Union win over Baldwin tonight, 38-14.
Very impressive win for the Yellow Jackets, I think, going on the road and beating what was a good Baldwin team. A really big step back, or a big step forward from last year for Brad Breland and his team.
Yeah, and this is a really, really tough district, as we've mentioned all season long. And ultimately, I think what these coaches will tell you is that it's the regular season that's prepared them for the first few rounds of the postseason.
And two of the most impressive wins tonight came in Jasper County. We just saw Silva Bay with a very gutsy overtime win. They're one win away from playing for a state championship at Jackson Academy later this month. And Bay Springs looked very impressive in the second half.
Yeah, Silva Bay was, what, 3-8 last season? And now this is a team that could contend for a title. And they've won, what, 5-6 straight or something like that. And then Bay Springs, I mean, this has been a solid team year-round. They do have a really tough matchup next week, so, you know.
Should be exciting.
Yeah, hashtag thoughts and prayers. Well, the end of the regular season also means the conclusion of Good Eats. Our final installment took us to Northeast Lauderdale, and I believe the Trojans took us out on a high note. It is senior night at Northeast Lauderdale and a huge game with West Lauderdale with playoff implications. But what is also huge is their tailgate situation. I can't wait to tell you about it all on Good Eats.
Just take those old records off the shelf.
Is there anything that you feel Northeast does a little bit different than some of the other schools?
Well, they put a lot of attention on having a good game tonight, and that's with the tailgating. The pep rally today was huge. It was a blackout pep rally. This thing really starts early in the day and it goes all through the night. So, I think it's just a good group of people that come out and make it what it is.
What is your favorite part about tailgating?
Talking to everybody, seeing everybody, and just hanging out, just having a good time.
So what are the must-haves at your tailgate in terms of food?
It's not a party unless you can fire up the grill, and we've got one going over there. Having some sausage dogs, we've got some good hamburgers, and then everybody brings some desserts. So, it's just the grill is probably the part that makes it, though.
Thank you so much for joining us on our final installment of Good Eats. It's been a wonderful season, and I've enjoyed showing you the tailgates and the concession stands.
Do you need a tissue or anything? Are you good?
I'm good. I'm sad. It's better, though, for my diet if I'm not around those tailgates anymore.
Well, if you weren't going to eat it, Lindsay was, so congratulations.
Yes, that's true. Well, almost done with Week 12 of Football Friday. Chris will have the final results from this year's Football Friday Pick'em.
Before that, we head over to West Alabama. It was senior night at Demopolis. We'll be right back.